Craig, thank you for joining me today. Now, you have built a business around helping businesses look at their website and work out the faults that people maybe don't even see, and then giving them some simple advice to transform it from just a presence on the web to something which actually generates leads and business. And that sounds like a really dark art. Is it really simple?
You make me sound like Malcolm Tucker or something after the thick of it. Yeah, I think it is pretty simple. I think in a lot of industries, we're guilty of overcomplicating things and we forget the basics. And I'm trying to remind people that the fundamentals are not really that complicated, right?
So if I am a business, what's the point of me having a website? Why should I even invest the time? It feels like just everybody just needs a bloody website. So I could just do a simple thing, throw it up. I've got a website. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm hearing it more and more and more that people saying, do I still need a website? I did a video on it ages ago about whether you still need a website or not. I'm biased, obviously. I design and sell websites. There is some people, if you're a painter, a decorator, a plumber, maybe something like that, you probably get away with a Facebook page. There is people who don't need websites. However, if you want to, one, control the reputation and opinion of people online, if you want to control how you look online, if you want to drive leads through an online system, be that Google Ads or Meta Ads or whatever you choose to do, if you want to control all of those things, and if you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, you need your own website. Because if you leave any of that to chance, you're wasting your money, basically, especially when it comes to Google Ads or something like that. If you're spending thousands on Google Ads and you're not really controlling your website, you're essentially pissing the money up the wall.
Right. And it sounds like those two things go hand in hand, because on the one hand, you've put up a website and it's pretty sad and lonely. It just sits there in the internet wilderness and no one will bloody find it. And equally, if you go and spend loads of money, because, you need your website to be found, otherwise it's pointless. So I guess what you're saying is that the two need to go hand in hand. Your sort of lead generation stuff on Google Ads or Facebook or whatever, but then your presence on the website.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it depends. And the whole crux of this is if you think that you are going to put a website online and leave it, and I'm sure we'll get to this later on. If you're going to put a website online and leave it, then fine, do whatever you want with your website. However, if you want your website to be a marketing tool, and it should be the cornerstone of all of your marketing, whatever you're doing. If you're in that situation, you definitely need a website and you definitely need to be doing it properly.
Okay. And we're going to talk through quite a lot of stuff today. We're actually going to give 5 simple steps that anybody with a website can just go through, almost like a self audit, and make some quick fixes to transform it from, level 2 to level 4, for example. Does this apply just to sort of mum and dad's kennel around the corner, or the plumbers and the electricians that you've spoken to? Or, if I'm a global bank, does this equally apply?
I see these basic mistakes being made by international companies versus local companies. We work with the full gamut of people, and you'd be surprised how many people are making some of the most basic mistakes. And especially when it comes to AI, the topic that I'm sure we're going to get onto later on as well. So yeah, no, it applies to everybody. That's why I've tried to keep the tips pretty basic. And if you've seen my videos online, they're usually pretty basic too. I like to go for the so obvious it's almost controversial tips, right? That people are forgetting about, that people are not doing because people are so deep in the weeds of SEO, or everybody's deep in the weeds about ChatGPT now. How do I get found in ChatGPT searches and all these kind of things? People are forgetting the basics. So no, they apply to everybody.
And you mentioned your videos, and if anybody who is watching or listening hasn't yet discovered your videos, I strongly recommend that they do, because one, they're really funny, and two, they are painfully, what's the word I'm looking for, like basic. You look at it and go, that's just total sense. So LinkedIn, I guess, is a good place to go. Look for you, Craig Burgess on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Go watch your content. It's incredible.
No, thank you. Right.
So,
First plug.
Yeah, first plug. And I guess a lot of particularly small businesses will just go for free resources. You know, they'll go find a template, they'll go to Wix or something and just kind of knock something together. Job done. I've now got a website. Is that good enough?
No. Sorry, I'm going to start swearing now because you've mentioned the swear word already. You've mentioned Wix. If you were going to build a Wix website, by the way, I fucking hate Wix.
Okay.
If you're going to build a Wix website, my simple advice is don't. So
Yeah.
pick something else. There is obviously low cost or free resources out there. I like Squarespace. It's the one I always recommend to people if they're not in a position, and many people aren't, if they're not in a position to purchase a custom designed and built website from someone like us. Squarespace is the good place to start. The templates are nice. It's professionally designed. Straight out of the box, it looks lovely, and the content management system is pretty good too. So if you are at that stage, please go use Squarespace. So they're all okay. I feel like Squarespace gets a big enough plug already on podcasts because it's usually sponsored by them. This one isn't, I don't think.
No.
But genuinely, Squarespace is the best one. If you're looking to go free or you don't have much money, just don't use Wix. That's the simplest advice I'd give.
Right, okay.
The amount of people, you wouldn't believe, the amount of people that get in touch with me and say, I've got a Wix website, this is wrong or this is wrong. I've got a Wix website, I need to leave it. Can you help me? That's the only one I ever hear people talk about. So don't use
And then
Wix.
this wasn't planned, by the way. I didn't know you hated Wix so much. So I just seem to have pulled on the right thread there. And we're going to get onto content a lot more because, you know, it doesn't matter what template you pick. You've still got to put the right images on. You've still got to have the right words and all of the right elements. You've still got to put some work into the site, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's only the beginning. Once you've picked the platform, by the way, don't use Wix. Once you've picked a platform, it is only the beginning. The words, the images, potentially the video, they are the three most important things. As long as the design is simple and easy to read, let's face it, as long as you're not using luminous green as a color on there, the thing that is most important is the content. I heard a figure years ago, it's probably not even anywhere remotely true anymore, but 75% of the internet is made up of words. So your website is going to be one of those two. So if the words are not right, let's face it, the internet was predicated on words. That's how it existed. That's how Tim Berners-Lee started it. So if the words are not right, everything else is an issue.
Right.